So a few things I want to talk about and a couple of questions I want to answer. One I wanted to answer for Aiden, I think his name is Skolas, because he had a question about baked poplar or thermally modified poplar. He's going to use that or thinking about using that instead of walnut for a baby's bassinet. And so my feelings with baked poplar, because I built a beehive with baked poplar last year, is it does have a nice kind of a warm brown look to it, but it's a little bit, I think it splits a little bit easy. It seems a little brittle. So that's something to take into consideration. And my advice for anybody building something larger out of baked poplar or this thermally modified poplars, build something small first, like maybe a jewelry box or a frame, and see what you think of it before you tackle a big project like a baby's bassinet. It does have a nice look to it though, I think. This has got an oil finish on it. So this is baked poplar with an oil finish, and this is walnut with an oil finish, just one coat of Minwax wiping varnish. So really, it's one of those things, build a small project and then decide for yourself. On the last project, the last little hinge video that I made about the SOSS hinge, it's SOSS. The router bit that I used is a straight 3/8 bit, and when I bought when I got the hinges and the jig, they also sent along a 3/8 spiral router bit, but I don't have a 3/8 collar for my router, so I just used a 1/4" shank with a 3/8 bit, and it worked pretty good. Sometimes it's nice to just take a little bit off at a time, maybe go down 1/4 of an inch. Don't go down the whole 1/2 of an inch and plow out all that material. Just go down a little bit, plow out your material, and then go down a little further. I wanted to thank everybody for a really nice response on the art video that I put up last week, because I know that most people tune into my show for the woodworking videos, but occasionally I'll get an email. Toby Kennedy asked, actually, when are you going to put up another art video? And I had been planning on that, so that was kind of the kick to get that done. And I really enjoy making the art videos, and that was kind of fun to shoot that one a little bit differently. And it's just great to get sort of the conversation rolling about art. So I really appreciate the comments. And of course, you're going to get some people who really don't like the art videos, especially that type of art. But for me as an artist, I like to work in a lot of different mediums and with a lot of different subject matter, because it keeps me from getting bored. And it's also good business because I can have several different types of paintings in one client's home, and it doesn't look like the same artist in every room. And also, I got a few questions recently about the bees. How are the bees doing? My bees, both beehives, swarmed, which means they left. And that's my fault, because basically the bees make queen cells, and if you're an attentive sort of with it beekeeper, you would remove those queen cells. And I just didn't do that, and so my bees left. And so this year I'm actually handing the whole bee project over to my son Michael, and he's going to probably have his own channel, but I'll do a few videos with him, and we're going to keep bees in the top bar hives and also Langstraw hives. Those are the box hives, because my friends have been keeping their bees in the Langstraw hives, and they're just having a lot more success than I am. But they're also working with a professional beekeeper too, who's kind of helping them. And I'm also planning on getting a little help this year from a beekeeper who will come to the hive occasionally and kind of make sure that we're doing everything right. So that's what's going on with the bees. And I'll have more news about them, and maybe a video or two once we get into that season. A few people have asked me if I ever gave the Beam skateboard to Casey. And I did give it to him. I sent it to him a long time ago, and I don't think he's opened it, and I can't really blame him. I'm sure people send him things all the time, and I'm sure he's super busy. But maybe he will open it one day. One thing about that video, I love the project. I really like that skateboard, but I hate that video because I just don't like the music that I used. So I'm thinking of taking that video down and re-editing it and just taking the music out, or maybe changing it. Right now I'm thinking I won't put any music in it, and trying to shorten it up a little bit, and then I'll just repost it. So I'll probably make that video in the next week or two, because it's a project I'm really proud of, but it's not doing very well as far as views are concerned. And when I look at it, I kind of get a little cringe because I just don't like the music. So those are some things that are going on in the studio here. And keep your questions coming. I really appreciate everybody leaving comments and questions. And I'm going to try to answer them more in a video format, just because a lot of the questions are kind of the same. And it would just take up so much time trying to answer them all on my computer, especially since I'm a terrible typer. And I always feel that my time is better spent making projects in the shop here and making videos. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.